Good morning, guys. Leslie Dinsky Bakers. Oh, it has been, well, last week was a busy week. We had our, good morning, boys, our 4-H fair. And 4-H fair time is only 4-H fair time. So, I finally got the camera back out. I don't think I put up the video, the last video that I took, which would have been probably about a week before fair, so that was probably before this, if I hadn't. Razzle, are you happy to be home? She couldn't escape her pen at the fair, so she was not happy, but she did very well. We got 1.3 inches of rain overnight. So we got a little bit of a mess. Plus we had some rain while we were at fair. Oh, Rosie's dough is out too. Of course. Really, ladies? Don't you guys know how to behave? Bring this dough. Kit Kat. Kit Kat got injured the day before we went to, really? You're peeing on the hay? The day before we went to fair, our first day of fair or FFA show, I had to take her to the vet right after we got done showing. That was when they could get her in. I'll show you the stitched up version of her wound. I guess I can put, I don't know if I can put it on the open wound or not. We'll see. But I'm just going to try to catch up from fair week. Woo, dropping everything. Hi, Fig. Do my chores, get everybody milked. Hi, Fergie. And maybe we'll take you for a quick walk through the garden, see how it has exploded in the last week, and I'll try to sit down and go through how everyone did at the fair. Oh, everything's fogging up. Let's see how long that lasts. Oh, it is afternoon. I went in and cooled off a little bit. I'm still a little sweaty, wet clothes, but I wasn't changing to come back out when it is 89 degrees, feels like 103. Hurts to kind of breathe. This is ridiculous. So we are way overgrown with all the rain that we've gotten, but it is what it is. Alright, Jason called to say he was headed home. So here's just a quick run through of the garden. Cucumbers, cantaloupe. We're going to be eating cantaloupe pretty soon here, I believe. Some of these are, that one's getting close. These others are still kind of small, but there's coming up the side of here. There's a whole bunch of them in here. Oh, it looks like there's, I don't know if you guys can see it on camera. Let's see if I can point it out. Right in there is a tiny little, it looks like volunteer dill. Of course, everything that I pulled and tried to transplant did not make it. So that's a good thing. Looks like my kale that's over here, my dinosaur kale, is not doing well. Yeah, I see the culprit. And I had pulled several off of it previously. Obviously, still missed some. Ooh, get it off of there. What are they? don't remember what they call them. I don't know if they're army worms or just little green like caterpillars that eat the leaves. I'll have to keep an eye out for some more. I think my other dinosaur kale is doing okay. So, what else? Cucumbers. Oh, all kinds of cucumbers. I picked a huge bowl of them. Tried making some pickles. Look at, I didn't even see those last night. Bunch of them. Tried a couple different kind of pickle recipes. They never come out right for me. They're always mushy. I tried, open kettle processing them, canning them. Some of them didn't seal, so I put them in for 10 minutes. They're pretty soft. They're good, but they're pretty soft, so we'll see what the open kettled ones are, how they do. Zucchini's not doing so well. That one's doing great. This one looked much happier yesterday. I need to restart some seeds since we're getting close to being out of squash bug season. Looks like I need to try to make some pesto. I've got all kinds of basil coming up, and I want to try pesto. Let's see, what's weeds taking over where my beans didn't come up. This green grape is doing well. I don't think this Concord's going to do anything. See a bunch of the potatoes coming up. They're starting to flower. I believe that's when it says that they're making potatoes, is when they're flowering. Pretty sure that they're covered well enough, so they should be good. Lots of weeds, sweet potatoes, getting a bunch of weeds again, so I need to go through those. And volunteer tomatillo, it actually has some coming on it, so when we come through and mow or weed eat, whatever we do, I'll try to not kill that. Maybe I can put a cage around it. We can make it over here. Still didn't plant that rhubarb. We have grapes. The little goats are still getting out here and eating all of my leaves though, so that's not great. This one, lots of growth now that the kids have kind of been eating it all. Very minimal grapes, but that's okay. I would just like it to grow. Yeah, lots of weeds on this dirt pile here. They were not even half that size a week ago before we went to fair. This is all cucumbers vining out here, vining out on the ground over there. So we are going to have cucumbers galore. I do, yeah, see, squash bugs on my watermelons. Gonna have to take those bad boys out. But there's a watermelon, little baby watermelon. I have a feeling trying to fight squash bugs in this mess is not going to happen well. There's a watermelon. I don't know if there's any down lower. That one up top is the biggest one that I've seen so far. Oh, big old cucumber. I don't see any watermelons down low. But yeah, lots of cucumbers in here. Oh, Roma tomatoes taking over. Looks like some down here need to be tied up. These need to be tied up down the center. Boy, this is like not even a week of not being in here, and it's crazy. Our black walnuts have a volunteer tomatillo in them as well, and lots of weeds. Sage, oregano, blueberry, 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 elderberry, elderberry. Boy, looks like this bent over and broke off. But we are going to be in the tomatoes soon. That is not aroma. These are aromas. Round is not. Romas. Most of these appear to be romas, but I mean, look at this one. Holy maters. Let's see what else we got here. Romas. This one definitely needs to be tied up. Look at this, is going to turn into a mess. Just looking, since that one was not aroma, what these look like. That looks like it's got aromas. Whew. Aromas. So far it looks like only one over here is not aroma, which could have been something that got mixed up from the neighbors, could have been mixed up. I'd have to count. No, that was probably from mine, so probably got mixed up from mine. These aromas need to be pruned. These are all extras from the neighbors. This tomatillo is doing amazing. That one's hanging in. This one, something ate all of the leaves. I'm thinking there was a bunch of poop down here I took a picture of, and I think it was a hornworm or a tomato worm is what it looked like, but I did not find anything on this plant, and I looked around and I didn't find anything on any of the other plants. So I don't know if it moved into this mess and it hasn't come back out, or if it died. I mean, I very well could have missed it. I don't see it on anything else. I don't see. Usually I look for the poop, and then that tells me that I need to find one. Of course, we got a whole bunch of rain last night, so I may not see what's here. It looks like this got kind of blown off in the storm last night. I may just take both of these off because we're supposed to have an even bigger storm tonight. Yeah, I don't know if I should put it back up or take it down. Look at the size, goodness, of this butternut squash. Doing awesome. Seems to be hanging on there okay. There's a couple more down lower. Looks like this plant needs to be tied up. Oops. So I need to bring out my tie tool, try to get some of these going in the right direction again. But it's amazing what they can do in a week. This obviously must have some damage from squash bugs. Part of it is kind of dying off. So we'll see. We've killed a lot of the other things, like this pumpkin. Was doing okay, and now it's dying. Oh well. Ooh, that was a grasshopper. So this is a cucumber. Obviously needs tied up. This is a cucumber. Still have not pulled all this lettuce out. I've kind of been leaving it, and those little caterpillar army worms, whatever they are, have been eating this. Kind of leaving my kale alone. This is my other dinosaur kale. Regular kale needs to be harvested. That one down there really needs to be harvested. And peppers are finally starting to grow, I believe. Some of them at least. This is a basil. You can see it's trying to go to seed, so I need to definitely come top that. Jason's got one little lone habanero. It's getting close to being ready. And then we have a tomato mess down here, which this definitely, I can tell you right now, has hornworm. At least one, probably more. Because you can see the tops of all of these are missing all kinds of leaves. Over here, over there, up here. So we need to look for hornworms. Sometimes I spot them right away, sometimes it takes time. I may not. Look at this stuff needs to all be tied up before it breaks. Probably won't spend a whole lot of time staring at it with you guys unless they stand out pretty easily. Guessing it's over here because this has the most damage to it. Usually they're alongside the stems or underneath the leaves. I am not seeing it. Alright, well, I will come back and look. These guys all look to be doing really well. Look at that basil. Oh my goodness. There's a little basil down in here. My tomatoes are getting pretty big. Joey's hot. He wants back in the house. This looks like a cherry tomato. That's a little bitty jalapeno. See, this basil is trying to go to seed as well. So I will come out and prune those back. Like I said, try my hand at pesto. These all need to be tied up. They're a hot mess. Yeah, that's about all we've got going on in the garden. So I'm going to try to catch up a few things here, prune my basil. Maybe we'll have something with pesto tonight. This is going to bother me until I find hornworm. Alright, well, I didn't find that tomato worm. I didn't search too hard. Here's all my cucumbers that I've picked. Some of them were getting close to being overripe, like this one. Most of those are pretty good size, and I picked less than a week ago. I've got just a tiny little bit of kale on this side. The rest of this is all basil, and I will show you what we planted in our green stalks. Okay, this is that mullein plant that I got from Azure. it is doing pretty well. This is all of our spinach. I don't remember what kind it is. I may have to look. But I definitely need to harvest a bunch of that. There's a little more. Nice big one over here. I think I probably don't say it right. That is that, yeah, tatsoi spinach. Is that how you pronounce it? Not sure. And here is that stevia plant. It was way down here where half the stuff was dead. I need to clean those off, but haven't had time. So it has grown quite a bit. And dill we transplanted, not doing well. Thyme doing well. We do have some spots of thyme and things starting to come up. This is the cilantro. I don't remember if it was cilantro on each side of it. There's stuff coming there and there. The basil that we planted down here, I told you I didn't think was going to make it. Yeah, it didn't make it. No other basil coming up yet. This is that holy basil. Ooh, yeah, holy basil. Nothing here. Parsley. What else did we plant around this? I think this was cumin. So maybe this is cumin coming up here. It looks like it. It's kind of, oops, tall, skinny. Our chocolate peppermint, chocolate mint, whatever it's called, back around. And then our top, oh, I'm sweating. Top two tiers were lettuce. Tiny little bit coming here. Whole bunch in there. Top layer, getting a whole bunch of lettuce. And a little bit in here. Ooh, spin it. So we are going to be eating salads soon. I am excited. Ooh, spin this back around here a little bit. I rotated it this morning, so didn't want to rotate it anymore, but that's where the green stalks sit. Oh, I can't see it now, but there was a mist coming from around the goat shed. Jason is out there, ooh, topping off waters so that they're cooler and spraying down pigs, trying to cool them, because this, oh, it hurts for me to breathe out here. I'm sure the animals are not enjoying it either. I am going to, whoa, one-handedly try to put these in the bowl to take in the house. We will use some of these in dinner. I think we're gonna do, since it's so hot, we do a cold rice. You can use chicken or turkey, and it's got cucumbers and tomatoes diced up in it with like a kind of, I think of like a little bit of a vinegar, oil, and a dressing with a bunch of different herbs and things in it, and it is really good, especially with fresh herbs. Cucumber, I don't have any homegrown tomatoes yet. There's still a few more cucumbers that are getting close. There's some a little bigger than that, but I'm going to leave them. The neighbor's going to come over and take some of these off my hands. I usually share them with my parents, Jason's parents, so. But that's it, guys. Have a good day. See ya on the next one.